Now, for anyone interested, I am creating this short video to show you how you can diagnose corrupt JPEG files. So this is a case on Reddit, a post on Reddit with a half gray image, and I offered to take a look at it. And the original poster sent me some files, and then I'll just show you what I can do with the files to see if they're fixable or not. So first of all, you download JPEG-Repair from my website, disktuna.com. You fire up JPEG-Repair. It's a zip file. You extract it to a folder and you just run the executable. Now, to diagnose individual files, we could use the patch mode, and then you click the browse button and you drag one of the files into the folder field, and then you will be automatically in the folder where the corrupt files are. Now, to demonstrate, I will show you what a intact file looks like, because the poster included an intact file as well. Okay, I click OK and I click repair. It will first of all show the file, but even if it did, it will show the file. And then as it's rendering correctly, we know this is an intact file. And at first we can look at the byte histogram, which is a pretty random. Basically all byte values are used. So from 0 up to 255, these are all the possible values of 1 byte. And they are all used. This is what you expect for a JPEG. And it's pretty random too. This is also what you expect from a JPEG. And the entropy is 7.96. So high entropy, 8 being the maximum value. And high entropy indicates compressed data, and which is what we expect to be present in a JPEG. So we want a high entropy value. And if it looks JPEG-like, JPEG-Repair will display this in green. If it does not look JPEG-like, it will display this value in red. And then if we click this value, we see the progress bar run, and it will show you a byte map. And the byte map looks like this. It looks like purely random noise, which is what we again want to see if we're looking at a healthy JPEG. If we click the JPEG or not option and we run it again, yeah, I don't know how well this is visible in the video, but basically all we see is a black background with randomly distributed blue dots, and this is a basically JPEG-Repair does a test and looks for JPEG-like data, and if it finds JPEG-like data, it draws a blue dot. If it finds data that should absolutely not occur inside a JPEG, it will draw a red dot. I see nothing but blue dots here, randomly distributed. So this is a JPEG. And then now we will look at one of the corrupt files. So I do the browser again and I pick a file, click repair again. Well, it says there's a problem. And okay, if we now check the same list, we see the bytemap. We started with a bytemap. And the bytemap is basically empty except for the column at the far right side, which represents byte value 255. So basically it's telling us that all bytes it sees are value 255. So in other words, the file does not contain any usable data. And the entropy is this time in red, and it also shows a non-JPEG-like entropy value. Almost 0, which is the minimal value. Basically 0 says there is no data, so there is a tiny bit of data. If we again click this, the progress bar will run again. And what we see is a pattern. This looks like a repeating pattern of data. And then at some point, this is data, but these are the FF bytes. So basically, it's all the same data, and it does not look anything like the random noise-like data that we want. And if we then click JPEG or not and run it again, we see red dots, but so many that it's just a solid square, which can definitely not be JPEG files. The tiny bit in the start of the file could be JPEG if we purely look at the byte combinations that are in this area of the file. But this repeating pattern shows us it's not JPEG data, because we want, again, random, noisy, randomly distributed JPEG bytes. And we can do another one. This one. Okay. There's again a problem, it says. And we again see a non-healthy, non-JPEG-like entropy value, 3.73. We see a byte histogram that looks nothing like a JPEG-like byte histogram with all byte values used and all bytes randomly distributed. If we analyze the file, basically we see returning patterns all over the place. And these byte combinations are not JPEG-like at all. Just we see blue dots at the very start of the file, just a tiny portion of the file. But again, it's one of those silly patterns that we know cannot be JPEG. So, if you have files that you're interested in repairing, you can do this using the demo version of JPEG-Repair, so you don't have to pay anything, and you know whether the files are potentially repairable or not. If they're not potentially repairable, you don't have to buy anything, so you don't have to spend any money to know whether a file is repairable or not. And if you have any doubts, then send me some of your files, and I will tell you if if it's worth buying the tool or not. I'm not interested in your money if you cannot use the tool. So yeah, I hope this helps. Have a great weekend because it's Friday.